What is up, guys? Sony here, back again with another video, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Moto G5 Plus by Lenovo. This is going to be my 1 week review with this device. We're going to talk about the camera, the display, the battery life, the operating system, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go. So this is the Motorola Moto G5 Plus. Let's go ahead and talk about what you get for this price point and what I like and what I don't like and would I recommend it or would I not recommend it. So first off, this is a $299 device. It has 64 gigabytes of internal storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 5.2 inch HD display, which is a 1080p, very gorgeous display. One mono speaker, which is the front earpiece right here. It couples as a front firing speaker. A fingerprint reader, along with a headphone jack, a micro USB. On the left side, there's actually no buttons. On the top side, we do have a SIM slot for one SIM, and also you can add a SD card, so that's very nice. On the back, we do have a 12 megapixel camera with dual flash, a microphone. We have the Motorola logo right there, and that is it. And then on the right side, we have the volume markers on top, power button on the bottom, and then we do have another microphone which is right here on the back, and then another one on the bottom. So let's get that out the way. This is actually running the Snapdragon 625. It does have a 3000 milliamp battery, 5 megapixel front face camera. Also, the fingerprint reader, you can also use that as a navigation button, so I'll show you that in a minute. So this device overall has been a very great performer. The fingerprint reader, although it's not the fastest, I will go ahead and say it is very accurate. 99% of the time it does unlock the device, does what it's supposed to do. So my first impressions and overall usage within my 1 week, I do have to say that the battery is very, very good. The battery life on this device is, for some people that are interested in the battery life, very, very good battery life on this device. Also, the cameras on here, on the back we have a 12 megapixel camera, which also does record in 4K. It does 1080p, 60 frames per second, also 30. And the front camera also records in 1080p. I believe it's 30 frames per second. It does take some outstanding photos. I'll go ahead and maybe I'll add some photos at the end of this video, but it takes some very good photos. And the first thing I noticed out of the box, it is running launcher that is similar to the Pixel launcher. You can actually slide from the bottom up, and you can see that it's sort of like the Pixel launcher, which is very nice. And it's actually just a slide up. So that is one thing that I actually really like. And if you slide over to the left, you will see that you have Google Now with all the Google Now cards. That works very nicely. It's included in the launcher. Very nice stuff right there. So that the fact that you have the slide up to get to your app drawer, and you slide over and get to Google Now. Also, you can see that I'm not using any navigation buttons. Is because on this particular phone, you can actually disable your on-screen nav buttons, and you can enable navigation through the fingerprint reader, which I thought is very good. It's an excellent feature that I really like. If you slide over to the left, it would be the back button. If you slide over to the right, it would actually be your recent apps. So how cool is that? And then home, tap one time, and if you long press, you can actually activate the Google Assistant. So the Google Assistant is present in this particular operating system. It is running Android Nougat out of the box. It's actually 7.0. You can see right there, 7.0 Nougat out of the box. It's a little behind on the Android security patch, but it will get updated pretty soon. So a few things that I do like is, one, it's going to be the cameras, like I mentioned, are very good cameras. It's running a stock Android. You can see that it is basically stock Android. There's nothing, no apps, no bloat, and I'll go ahead and show you that. I noticed that it does come with a few pre-installed applications, but I wouldn't consider them bloat. And one being, you have device help, downloads is already there. You have a FM radio, which is very nice. You do have to have your headphones plugged in, your wired headphones plugged in for it to work. And then you also have another application which is very useful, and that is the Moto app. Go into this app and you will see that you have two settings right here. One is actions and the other one is display. So in display, you can see your notifications at a glance, and that is while the display is laying down. Once you pick it up, it will enable notifications at a glance. So you can set that up. Also, you can set up what you choose to display and what you choose to block. That is an awesome feature. I use that all the time. I'll show you how that works right now. If you lay your device flat and you decide to pick it up, that's what I'm talking about. It does display. It will display your notifications, and you can just slide up. Then we have actions. You use gestures as phone shortcuts. Exactly what it says right there. So we do have the one button nav, which is what I'm using right now to navigate through my phone. So you can turn that on, and it kind of shows you what it does and how to set it up, and you can even change things up. Easy stuff right here. And if you tap on here on the bottom, which I thought was pretty interesting, it'll actually show you and you can try it out. Then we have the chop twice for flashlight, and then we have twist for capture. This will actually activate the camera, and it also will switch cameras. So once you activate it, I'll activate it right here. You can see that the camera is on, and then we have a swipe to shrink screen. That I believe I have disabled, but it tells you a little bit about it. You can just swipe up and then or down. Pick up to stop ringing. That one is also available. I do have it disabled. And then we have flip for do not disturb. Also another great feature. So all these features are included in the Moto G5 Plus. And let's go ahead and go back, and that's about it as far as the features go on this device. Is actually pure stock Android. We can go into the settings, and the settings is, you can tell it's all stock Android. You can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you also, it does have real cool ringtones. Add an SD card, and it does support adoptable storage. So this one is the 64 gigabyte variant. You can see that I have 53 gigabytes available. So very small OS, doesn't take up a whole lot of space. That's a good thing because it gives you a lot of storage. So, and then you can see the battery percentage. Battery is actually very good on here. I did mention that already, but I've gotten at least 6 hours of on-screen time with this device, and about, I would say, like 24 hours or close to like 22 hours of usage. You can see right now I'm at 2 hours. Memory, it shows you the 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's a very clean operating system. There's not a bloat, and that's about it. Other than that, this is a very clean stock Android. There's not a lot of extra features added to this, so it's pretty bare bones. You can see if you swipe down from the top, you do have some toggles you can set up. If you hit edit, you can actually move these around. Very clean. And I have to say, by this device being running like stock Android, it is very fast. I've yet to see any kind of lag. The camera opens up real fast. If you swipe over, here you have all your features. You can do shutter sound, you can do quick capture, you can save location, you can also change the megapixel count. You can do 4x3, 16x9, 4x3, 8 megapixel, or 16x9, 6 megapixel. You can also do the shutter type. You can change the shutter. You can do the rear camera. You can do video on the rear camera. You can also, like I said, you can do 4K, 30 frames per second. You can do Full HD, 60 frames per second, which would be 1080p, and 720p, and therefore you can even do VGA. And that is the rear camera. And if you switch over to the front camera, you have to switch right here and then go into the settings, and you can see that in here you can also record or take pictures in 4:3 or 16:9. You can record in 1080p 30 frames per second, which is the highest setting. That's all that good stuff. This is actually a wonderful device, and I've had nothing but a real great experience. The build quality is maybe not the top notch or not the best as far as for a device at this price point, but I cannot complain, because I would trade a little bit of build quality for real good, great quality photos. The only thing that I've noticed that it is missing would be optical image stabilization, which is not present on the Moto G5 Plus. I definitely would recommend this phone for anybody that's looking for a good device that has a good battery that will last you all day, maybe a day and a half. It also has a nice, real good, beautiful display, and it has those extra features that just push it to the next level. This would be it. Let's go ahead and try out the speaker.
What is up, YouTube? Tony here, back again with...
So you can see that the sound quality is not the loudest, but it does the job, and it's loud enough in my opinion. So one thing I almost forgot to mention is call quality. Call quality is actually pretty darn good on both ends. I had my wife call me, and she said that it actually sounds very good, very clear, and it also sounded very good and very clear on my end. So yeah, that is going to be it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. And yes, this is my 1 week review with the Moto G5 Plus. If I forgot anything or forgot to mention anything, make sure you drop them down in the comments, and I'll catch that in the next video. Before I end this video, I will have some photos that I have included so you guys can check out the camera quality. Check them out.